Hi there, it's Friday, and that only means one thing. It's Denise's Friday 5, and today we're going to talk about 5 tweeting formulas to get more engagement. You might ask about me, particularly to the new subscribers, and a huge hello. I'm Denise Fay, and I teach or train, I mentor business owners and executives on copywriting and communicating clearly using the written word. I also work with business owners, and I help them take their message to market successfully. And I am an award-winning author of 31 Days to Write Better Copy. So what is Friday 5? Well, you know what? It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's 5 quick tips on either copywriting, marketing, or communications. So today we're bringing together maybe marketing and communications. But anyway, let's get started. Now, you know what? I think I've got a bit of a in-love relationship with Twitter. And I'm serious though, because I think it's a great tool. I love it when I'm using it. And then sometimes I get so busy with client work and marketing work and travel and the kids. And then it's bedtime, and then I realise I actually haven't been on Twitter all day. So I do a quick scan at 11 p.m. And you know what? That's not really doing me or you guys any favours. But then I remember it, and then once I start using it again, I fall in love with it all over again. The laughs, the conversations, and I wonder why I don't check it out more often. And my goal is to check it out more often. But I do inform my clients about tweeting as part of Module 5, promoting your message in my message to market training, and I have had success in it. But what I have found out is there are 5 top tips or formulas that I have discovered about Twitter that I think will help you too. So here they are. Tweeting success tip number 1, and it's keep it short. And you know what? I think for those of you who are familiar with me and the Friday 5s, you will know that I actually am the world's biggest talker. And I sometimes do find it hard to keep, a tweet to 140 characters. I've seen statistics where it says that you ought to keep your tweet between 100 and 115 characters. But then at the same time, I've also seen statistics where it says keep between 120 and 130 words. So I think the optimum here is to keep it less than 130 characters per tweet. And I think that's important because that way then people can add in their own feedback, such as I agree, or top tips, or even to retweet. Because if you put down please retweet, as in the shortened please, an RT, that's 6 characters alone. So that brings you down to 136. No, my maths are terrible. 134 characters, and so you can see why the optimum is 130. So 130, keep in mind 130 rather than 140. Make sense? Okay, great. Let's move on to number 2. And number 2 is all about sharing your personality. And no, I don't mean what you've had for your dinner or your tea or your breakfast or your lunch or your snack. What I mean, because you're a business person on Twitter, but what I do mean is that you maybe share a little bit more about yourself or your team. Last year, I know when I had Isabel and I was up feeding up at the middle of the night at 3 o'clock, I posted some Twitter comments about learning a different perspective on life at 3 a.m. in the morning, and it got some chuckles, and so that's pretty much what you want in terms of engagement. But in terms of, say, business, what if you're traveling? What if you're going from A to B and you find a new coffee shop or a new restaurant or a new activity perhaps? Give it a shout out, to the establishment using their Twitter handle. And you know why? Because that does 2 things, and that's just one example that I've kind of thought at the top of my head. But it does 2 things. It shows that you're enjoying your travels, so it shows a little bit more about you and your traveling and whether you like it or not. But it also shows that the establishment might share your tweet, opening you up to a whole new audience. So I think that's a good thing. So by all means, be your brand, but please show a little bit of you behind the person information. Make sense? Great. Tip number 3. Ask a question. Great one, a brilliant one. People love answering questions. It's a great way for people to share their opinions, their recommendations, their thoughts. So why not go to market and ask questions? Let's say you're a restaurant and you're thinking about revising your menu. Head on over to Twitter and ask what's their favourite or least favourite food. Or maybe what do they think of when they think of summer food? It's just all rhubarb and strawberries and cream. But things like that might just give you a better idea of what people want that you could actually put onto your menu. And it's a great way, I think, just for finding out what people are thinking rather than you sitting there and going, well, pretty much you're guessing. So it's a great way. And just before I posted this, I posed the question as a fill in the blanks type of question over on Twitter. I said the best thing about marketing is ... And one person put down just a simple word: engagement. And you know what? It's not something that word would not have jumped to mind for me, but yet that's exactly what we do. And I thought it was a wonderful response, definitely thought-provoking. And that's pretty much like, what Twitter helps you do. It kind of helps you open your mind as well as talk to your market. So a wonderful, wonderful response. Tip number 4 is to use hashtags. Now, I don't know, have you seen that Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Fallon sketch? I think it's about 2 years old now at this stage, but it is absolutely wonderful. I've got the link there. Go and have a look at it, but only after you've listened to these 5 formulas. But it's also on the site, denisefay.com, the blog. So go ahead and head over and look and you'll get the link. But it is wonderfully funny because it really takes the proverbial out of the hashtag syndrome. But studies have shown that tweets with hashtags get 2 times more engagement. That's 2 times more engagement, guys. But in saying that, you have to be careful. 1 or 2 will get more than 21% more engagement than if you add 3 or more. So I think if you add 3 or more, it gets a little bit confusing. I know personally, I just see those hashtags and I just kind of blank out. I don't really like them. I just think they're trying to say too much. But 1 or 2 for sure for me, I think is great. And so, and obviously I go with the statistics. But I think maybe hashtags, it connects people of a similar interest, maybe similar geographic area. It often puts context to the post, so people can see whether you're taking, whether you're messing or not. So it probably adds context. But either way, it works. So I think you should use them. That's tip number 4. And our last and final tip of the day is to use images on Twitter. I don't know if any of you guys know Dan Zarella, but he is a wonderful marketing scientist. A lot of the stuff that he will talk about is based on research. I love him. But he did research on just under 500,000 random tweets. That's like just less than 500,000 tweets, and found that tweets with images uploaded to pic.twitter.com were nearly twice as likely to be retweeted, while the use of TwitPic increased the odds by just over 60%. But he did find, on the other hand, that tweets that used Facebook or Instagram links, which are quite popular, were less likely to be retweeted. So I think it's important that you kind of bear that in mind to put them up to pic.twitter.com. I guess it is the native platform. They probably will want to post, their images or your images. So if you're going to be posting photographs on Twitter, it will get more retweets, but try and use them from the original native Twitter platform. So there you have it. There you have it, guys. 5 tips for getting more engagement on Twitter. So 1, keep it short. 2, share your personality. 3, ask a question. 4, use hashtags. 5, use images on Twitter. And my final slide really would be to give you a little gift. I've just created this little free guide, 7 super simple steps to writing successfully. It's over there at denisefay.com. 7 super simple steps to writing successfully. Head on over to it. You'll get my proven 7-step writing system, from headlines to emotions, from handwriting to vocalizing. It's my gift to you, so head on over and check it out and download it. You won't be disappointed. And finally, Friday 5 is coming to an end. Just for today. So if you want to connect in the meantime, I'm over at denisefay.com. There's all the links. Email me I'm at Facebook, Denise Fay Online. I'm at LinkedIn. I'm on Google Plus, and I'm on Twitter at the handle at Denise Fay. Okay, take care and have a good week.